Hello guys, so today I just want to put up this video. I've gotten a few requests and questions over this. So this is my modified Gamer Pro control deck. The mods I've done to this, I've added the Happ stick. This is the IL Euro stick, and I've also switched out these buttons for the Happ long stem buttons. In all honesty, this is a really easy mod to do to your deck, and I use this deck inside my Legends Ultimate. I didn't really too much care for the spinners, and I just rather have the 8 buttons because I run Launchbox front end. So it's just better for me when I run my PlayStation games or anything else that might require 8 buttons. Yeah, kind of messed up when I originally done this. This should be here, and I'll fix that during this tutorial. So anyways, I'll go over this. I will leave links in the description for the parts that I've used. And I'll go over some tips and things to watch out for when you do this. And also, I'll go over some things I wish I would have done better. So anyways, here we go. And if any of y'all want to do this, it's a pretty easy mod. So let's do this, and I'll go over it with you. Thank you. Now, of course, to open it, you'll need to flip it over and go in the back. We have this casing here. And we're just going to take these little tabs off, and we're going to take out all these screws. Say hi, buddy. Alright, so we've gotten these screws off. Or we have these little tabs off. Then you can see all the little screw holes here. One thing to mention, you don't have to use the Legends Gamer Pro. I mean, you can just leave the original deck in the mod, and this will work just the same. So this is really just whatever your preference. For me personally, on my setup, and I've read in the community, a lot of people is having this problem, is your Legends Ultimate will just die. Like your controllers will freeze up. That's normally going to be because you're going to have security chip error, and it's just going to kill your control deck. As in, it won't kill it, but whatever that security chip error is, it's going to let you play the Legends Ultimate for so long. And it's not the machine that freezes up, but it's just the controls. It won't let you use the controls at all. And it doesn't matter if you Bluetooth another controller. It doesn't matter if you use the original control deck or this. It's going to have that error inside the machine. So the way my setup is, I just bypass everything as far as the controls go. So you don't have to go to OTG to get this to work. I have my USB connection. You see, I'm pulled up. Yeah, so right here, this USB, that's going to control the input. So you can just directly put this from the computer into the control deck, and the computer will still read it just fine, and it will even cut down any lag experience, any lag. And then these other two, you input them just the same, because by doing that, this will still turn on the control deck. Now this will of course be constantly looking for a Bluetooth connection, but since this is already connected to the computer, you're already connected, so you're fine. This control bus here, this will allow this button to work. Okay, it's on machine, but it'll let you switch from the Legends Ultimate to the computer screen. So for me, that's the easiest way to do it. And honestly, when I'm all done with it, I'm just going to bypass everything in there anyways. I just have it right now because I'm lazy. But this is pretty simple, and it works out fine for me. And I'll go over with that whenever I put this back into the system, and you can see what I've done. And it might help you all out. At least get some use of your Legends Ultimates if you're having the same problem that I did. And you have an extra computer on hand, or if you were OTGing anyways, well, here's a way to just bypass all that and leave it about as stock as you can outside of these button upgrades. Okay, so anyways, let's get inside the system and show you the wiring and everything else that I've done inside the control deck. Alright, so we have the insides of here now. One thing you'll need to do before you fully take this off, you have these wires here. These actually connect to the side buttons. So just be sure to, I wish my camera was better. Sorry guys if focus is bothering you. But you'll just unplug these and you'll take these back. If not, this case is just going to grip. Alright, so anyway, so we have the internals here. And these are going to be your the Happ sticks you're going to use. I mean, you can use the regular Happ sticks, or you can use the IL Happ sticks like I have. The good thing about this, you have plenty of room in the casing. So, unlike how I've read about if you do this to your arcade 1-up, there's no dremeling required. You have plenty of room in here. Like a tremendous amount of room. You may have to move things a little bit. What I had to do whenever I had to get these buttons installed was take this battery out. Because it would be right here, and it's just tight enough to where you couldn't get full clearance of this. I'm going to take a screw out, and you're good to go. I haven't had any problems with that being out. And honestly, it's fair enough. The buttons, these buttons are actually almost identical to what's already stock. Hear all that? And I actually left these back to stock just because they hardly ever get used. So I think I'd be fine with that. I'm mostly a Street Fighter guy myself, so these are extra important to me to use. And you can tell the difference. As far as the buttons themselves goes, honestly, I'd recommend save yourself about 20 bucks and just upgrade your micro switches. And that would be right here. So these are X44s, and I will have them linked. You can get them at the same site that I linked the buttons on. And these make a world of difference. These buttons are really what you need. I think if you just get the switches, they'll probably run you like $1.25 a piece. And if you, the Happ buttons are around $2. That's going to be the button. So the buttons here, or the joystick, my bad, I'm sorry, is this. And there's a couple things you should know about this. First of all, make sure three things. When you set this up, you want to make sure that you have this lined up as center as possible. Because you really don't have much wiggle room with the Happ. And as you can tell, I'm going to fix this after I shoot this. See how that's hitting there? And then you have your extra space there. Make sure you get as directly in the center as possible. My fix I want to do here in a minute. I have a step bit drill, so I'm just going to drill this hole out and make it a little bit bigger, so I'll be free, and I'll show y'all when I do that. My second player actually got perfect, but I'll show you right here. I messed up a few times. I'm going to wood fill these in sometime down the line, but honestly, I don't even notice those holes anymore. See if I can get a better view on this. And this, see how it moves freely without hitting. So if this one fits perfectly, number 2 does. That's really just it all really comes down to your preference. But be careful. Also, whenever you screw these, you're going to have to do it through the top, which means you're going to come through the plexi. And you're not going to have any problems. This plexi is not going to crack. It's not going to bust. I mean, it was just a pretty clean drill. Even where I messed up here, it still doesn't bust. So don't worry about cracking this plexi. If you drill from the top, you're not going to have any problems. And lastly, when you're doing these Happs, to keep these as stock as you can, you're going to need to get this harness right here, and I'll have the link on where to get it. And what this harness allows you to do, it allows you to plug in to the stock harness. So this was the original harness that plugged into your stock controllers. So all you do is you just unplug it from your stock, and then when you plug this in, you just plug this harness into this slot, and then you just wire this. Easiest way to wire it, the ground goes on the bottom, and this is daisy chained. So just do that, and then from there, you just plug these in. I do have pictures, or you can look at this video, and these will help you reference how to do it. Because each one of these colors is going to represent a direction. So whenever you get it right, like I said, you don't need to reconfigure everything. Everything is just good to go. Okay, well, that being all said, I'm going to fix my player 2 and coin button. So I got those backwards. And then I want to drill the center of the player 1 to make that hole just a little bit bigger. So if you do mess up, or to make life easier, let's get a step bit drill. Just drill in just a little bit, and it'll give you more clearance than you need. And with this right here, the dust guard, you know, it's going to cover up that hole, so it's going to look just as clean. So anyways, bear with me, guys, and I'll show you how to do all that. Alright, so got these wires taken off. One key thing to take these wires off is just get your finger underneath them and just press. They have these little notches here, so when you hit that notch, it'll just come right out. If you don't, they're a bitch to come out. So, just a little tip on that. Alright, and that's just how you get these switches off. Switch it back on the notch, take it. There it goes. Easy peasy. Alright, now take these buttons off. There's 2 methods, I guess, you can do it. There's the Happ unscrew drill, because you'll need to take these off. Or you can just use my method, I guess, and just use your hand. I've never felt the need to use a drill, and I was able to just use my hand anytime I need to take these off, which I managed to do that. So it's really up to you. The drill, the tool might make life a little bit easier, I guess, so you do you. So I want to take these off. All right, so I got these fixed now. Pretty simple. Just going to rewire these back. All right, so I'm just going to put black one here. Be on top. Just kind of push these back. That'll be fine. All right, and that is pretty much it as far as the button management goes. My next step, I'm just going to drill out the player 1 and show you how that goes. So, well, let's get started on that. All right, so I got these screws undone, so this will come off. One thing that you will have to deal with, and this is how you take them off and put it back on, you're going to have to remove this ring here. Best way to do is get a really small flathead screwdriver, and then you can just pry it from the notch out. But be careful, because when you take it out, there's a chance it might just fly right off. So if you're in the carpet like I am, it's going to be a bitch trying to find it. And I will show you the harness since I can do that. So, anyways, I want to disconnect your harness. Figure this out. Alright, so this is going to be the harness that you're going to need to buy. I think get off Amazon for like $5, $6. But this is going to allow you to connect it to your control panel. So this is the stock end that you would just pull off of the regular stock joystick. So all you would do is just take it off your joystick, put the new one on, wire it just like this. And then once you get these wired, you just take this, insert it here, and you're good to go. Plug and play. Alright, so now here, you're going to take this, and I think this flathead might be too big to do this job. So, bear with me here. Alright, so we got it off. And I'll just take out the joystick. And there it goes. And then we can just take this out. Alright, next, we'll make this hole bigger. Alright, so you got this, my step bill, drip bill. I want to do this on my lap, so I'd recommend don't do this. I'm just lazy. Work all the same though. Alright, we got our new hole. Just drilled in from both sides. And I might have to do a part 2 video on this, so bear with me. Okay, we're back. I'm sorry. I guess I can only do 10 minutes at a time on my phone. I'm not a professional YouTuber or anything, so... Anyways, we're back with a full new, fresh 10 extra minutes if I need it. So anyways, we got this step bit done. I drilled this hole, and we're going to try it out. If we need to go bigger, we'll go bigger again. And I just dropped something. We'll figure that out. I drilled it as far as to this line right here. So not all the way, but pretty close. And that should give me enough clearance. We'll find out. Alright, and gentlemen, there we go. We do have enough clearance now. Wish I could really show you, but I'm doing this in one hand, so I have to take my word for it. So if you do drill this in, and you do mess up to where you hit the corners, you can either try to drill more holes on your deck to realign it, or just take a step bit drill and just drill the hole bigger so you can provide more clearance. Either way, up to you guys how you want to do it. Now let's get this thing back together and I'll show you the setup on my Legends Ultimate Arcade. Alright, so we got this thing back together. And these screws are actually going to be the screws that's going to hold this control panel in. So let's do all this. And we're going to have to reconnect all of these. And I'll show you in the back what I did to help bypass everything as far as the OTG goes. Alright, so this is in. I just want to show you how sturdy this is. Now, this is only being held in by these screws. That's it. It's in sturdy, so don't worry. That's the only screws holding that in. I want to show you in the back here. So I will clean this up later on to make this look more professional. But this is the original outlet here. And I just busted this down because I needed to get inside. This is going to be your power unit. And this is what's going to run and connect to one of the wires that go into the control panel. Now to bypass your OTG, all you do is you just take the USB port that's plugged into here, that normally would go into here, just rip it out if you don't need it, and run your own USB port here, cord to your computer. So as far as the cord goes, a direct connection from the computer to the control panel. The only drawback is you're not going to be able to control it. You're not going to be able to have control as far as the stock goes. But again, when you're running stock, the security chip error kills your machine anyways, then who cares? That's not why I'm running this. So as you can see, it's doing this. That's going to be searched for a Bluetooth connection it's not going to find. Only thing we're using this for is a monitor. So yeah, it's not working there. But if we switch the channel, we go to our HDMI. It should bring up my launch box, which launch box probably isn't even on right now. So give me a second to turn my computer on. Okay, so it's on. It's just on screensaver mode. Alright, so I'm an idiot. You gotta make sure you have your HDMI. You gotta make sure that your HDMI cord is plugged in right here. Now, there is a direct connection way to do this, or you won't even see that, which I will do down the line. But right now, for me, I mean, this works perfect. So let's go back out here. And like I said, you know, it's stock. These buttons ain't working because it has a direct connection to this. And again, we don't care about this. I don't care about this. Like you, I'm fed up with Atgames Ultimate. So you just take it and do what you can. Do salvage. There's a way to salvage your machine. So we change HDMI. There we go. See, this will still work out as a working mouse. I ran joy to key, so these are going to be my left and right triggers. I just restarted my computer, so I have it to where my launch box will kick up automatically. Yeah, big box. Not really done a whole lot of theme customization to the big box, which I need to. Throw up a video. So it's coming. Just bear with me. Like I said, I know I threw a lot out there, and I'm really not the best at trying to explain everything. So hopefully, if anything that you make out of this, I at least pointed you into the right direction And you can find numerous videos as far as this goes. Alright, so you see how this works. That works. So, of course, go to the one that, you know, we all care about. Me and my buddy is a glutton for... So let's try to make something out of this. Alright, so the 100 hand slap with these hard buttons. You do this with the stock buttons, you are going to have a hell of a time doing it. So anyways, that is Street Fighter for the arcade. Of course, we'll do this to get out. And get back. I also have this set up, but the thing with this, you'll probably gonna have to set this up with every game, at least every emulator. And I just haven't got around to doing it. I have like a couple games set up where it works, and I just can't remember right now which one they are. So whenever I do, I'll get back with you on that. This is the game that we normally play, the Super Nintendo Turbo version of Street Fighter. And I'll go over a few little mods on that I did to make it look better full screen. Let me find it first. Probably should have a better plan for this. I don't have a plan at all. It's probably right here on my favorites. There we go. Now, two ways to start this up. You can hit your A button, go into your screen and play. Or if you don't want to see that, you want to get directly into the game, you can hit your start button. And you're right in the game. Okay, now everything looks kind of stretched out here, but there's a point to all that, and I'll show you. So it looks kind of janky right there, but bear with me. Because when you actually get to fighting, everything looks good. It's full, it's flush, and not really as stretched out. So I just wanted to show that off. Show her kicks. So I can throw a fireball with one hand. See, with the power of the Happ, you can throw fireballs with one hand. Hell yeah. Well, anyways, that is it. I hope that helped you all out. And I'm off to work, so peace.